Hello, and Merry Christmas.
Yes.
We're here with another episode of Theo and Tim's movie reviews.
Yay.
This time it was my pick, and since it is the holiday season,
Tis the season.
I decided to go with 1988's Ernest Saves Christmas.
In the past, there have been many traditional ways to celebrate Christmas. With songs, with gifts, with family and friends. There's a new way.
Ho, 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 Vern.
With Ernest.
Just this.
A Christmas classic, or a classic in quotes. We haven't decided yet.
I've decided.
If you're not familiar with Ernest P. Worrell, meaning that if you're not in your late 30s or early 40s like we are, Ernest P. Worrell was a commercial actor that ended up creating this character. It's Jim Varney was the actual guy, and he created a character called Ernest P. Worrell. It blew up because the internet wasn't a thing in the 80s.
Also in Toy Story, he's the Slinky.
He's the Slinky. Yeah. You probably know him best as that.
If you're younger.
If you're younger. Yeah. Which you probably
There's not that many
are, unfortunately. But long story short, he got a 3-picture deal from Disney through Touchstone Productions, and he made Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Saves Christmas, and Ernest Goes to Jail through that deal. And we are here to review the second movie, Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yes.
Just in general, Theo, just overall, like, what do you find? I know not to review it, rate it yet, but what are your thoughts on the movie?
Listen, as a child, this was the shit. It was amazing. Know what I mean, Vern? It was a thing that I said all the time. Never quite knew what it was. I didn't know who Vern was. I just knew it was a guy who looked in front of the camera. That was his thing.
Empty.
Vern!
I think Vern is short for victim.
Yes.
Because Vern is a victim of Ernest P. Worrell.
Vern gets fucked up. As an older man, Ernest P. Worrell is a menace.
He's a menace to society.
Listen. This man is horrible to the world. He don't need. He at the beginning of the movie, he's in a cab where he throws a man out of the cab. That man should have been wearing
destroys property.
Oh.
Backs up on a highway.
Backs up on a highway.
This movie should be called Florida Man Saves Christmas.
It all takes place in Florida.
In Orlando, Florida. Why? Because Disney.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's the reason.
It was cheaper to film. I will say the budget of this movie was $6.5 million, and it made $28.5 million at the box office. So hell of a win if you're looking at just the cost-benefit analysis.
Before the Santa destroyed that town, they could film anything in that mug. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter,
And let's talk about the plot, because there are a lot of problems with this plot. Now, keep in mind, this is a children's movie from the 80s, so it's not going to be too tight on the plot. But Santa comes to town looking for his replacement, who is a guy that hosts a kid show, a guy named Joe Carruthers. Santa, for some reason, flies commercial.
Yes.
Like, can we talk about, he ships his reindeer.
His flying reindeer.
He ships them to Chuck and Bobby, those two guys that are in all the Ernest movies.
Ernest P. Worrell movies.
Fat guy, skinny guy, classic comedic combo. Their side
fat guy goes with his eyes half crossed.
For kids, it's really funny. I feel that as an adult, that part of the movie kind of drags a little bit, just because some of the gags are a little too much.
Too much screen time, guys.
Not only that, why did we ship flying reindeer?
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
They fly.
They fly, my dude. So that's a problem. He comes to town. He for some reason, gets in Ernest P. Worrell's cab. And then, out of nowhere, they pick up a 16-year-old runaway girl.
Yes, she dishes, dine dashes on somebody on a tab, and then gets in EP Worrell's cab, right? Floors it somehow. She gets her leg on the thing, floors it, and she sticks with him.
Now she's just part of the squad.
She's just there.
And she's just around for the whole movie.
Nobody asks who your parents are. Nobody asks where you at.
You got a 70-year-old man saying he's Santa that everybody thinks is crazy.
Yes.
Right? Because he didn't show up in the sleigh. Listen, if you want to convince somebody you're Santa, a really good opener would be to show up in a sleigh.
At least be fat.
At least be fat. This is like a kind of in-shape Santa.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know where they got the guy to play Santa, but he didn't really fit the role.
He did not. He had dementia. Santa had dementia.
So Santa got dementia. He's 150 years old.
Yeah. He out there.
He's going around telling people he's Santa, but he ain't got his sack.
He resin up this one old bitch from the Santa place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa's out here in these streets.
Yeah.
Trying to get some of this good.
Mm-hmm.
But he loses his sack because he leaves it in Ernest P. Worrell's taxi. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Takes Santa to go meet this Joe Carruthers guy. He actually has this Joe Carruthers guy on the hook until his agent hooks him up with this horror movie. It's one of those Christmas horror movies, sort of like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and all that stuff. And
there's an alien?
Yeah, there's an alien in it. It's all weird. Jim Varney is good in it. Ernest P. Worrell, the character still holds up, especially if it's for kids,
Yeah. We said there's like a correlation with him and Jim Carrey type thing. Like we never wondered if Jim ever.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Ernest was sort of like the proto Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm. He could do different things. He did. He dressed like a woman in there.
He had the rubbery face. He did characters and stuff like that. But of course, Jim Carrey is just it's basically the evolved version.
Like Ernest P. Worrell never talked out of his ass.
No, yeah. But there are definitely some gags that are similar.
Yeah.
But overall, I still enjoy the movie. I would probably enjoy it more if I was, 9-10 years old. It's definitely for kids.
Yeah. If I was a child, I would think that is hilarious. Ripping up someone else's house is hilarious.
For chestnuts opening on a roasted fire. A time for sleigh bells tinkling in the snow. Boy, that puppy's really stuck, know what I mean?
The chick that ends up getting in the car with him, the 16-year-old girl, is essentially Punky Brewster if you order her on Wish, which is what you said about Ernest P. Worrell. He's basically Jim Carrey if you ordered him from Wish. So yeah, it's
and she's from Indiana.
She's all the way in Florida,
and she lives in Florida.
And she's constantly trying to rob from Santa.
Yeah.
She's not a good character. She does have a decent arc at the end where she does come around and turns back, brings Santa his sack back. But it's really weird, the whole thing where the 16-year-old girl is just hanging out with these two grown ass men.
She don't need to be there.
It's a very Florida situation.
They could just misplace the bag.
Yeah. Like we said, Santa literally fumbled the bag.
He fumbled the bag
in this movie. But it ends up being like a heartwarming type movie at the end. Of course, it's a Christmas movie, so you expect that. Two elves show up, and they're both original Munchkins, including Billy Barty. So that's fun to see. He had to have been in his 80s at that point.
I mean, representation accounts.
There was a lot of representation in this movie. There was little people. There was cross-dressing.
There was an old black guy.
There was the old black guy. There was also a black cop who had a nice little booty on her. But anyway, that's beside the point. So yeah, all in all, it is a heartwarming movie. I like it, especially if you have kids, you should check it out. What did you think?
I thought it was decent. It was a good movie, and it was something that I really liked as a kid. So I'm gonna give it a good 4.
A 4. Not bad. 4 out of 5.
Come on, man.
I will say this. Let me say one more thing. This movie is from the 80s, 1988. Almost no racism in the movie. No racism, no homophobia. That's
Santa didn't even want to cuss.
I was surprised. I was surprised. But I would give the movie. I agree with you here. I give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
It's an agreement. There you go.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie. It's a really good movie. Well, not really good, but it's good. Especially like you said. If you have kids, a lot of the stuff still holds up. They'll even enjoy Chubby Bobby.
Room, they'll like it.
Yeah, because they're not going to pick up all these plot holes.
No.
There's a lot of them. Why didn't he take the sleigh?
Why didn't he fly the fucking sleigh?
It don't make any sense. You're Santa, and you're trying to tell people I'm Santa, but you're wearing a suit, and you look like you lost 60 pounds. It just don't go well.
Your suit's brown. You coming out of town, your suit be brown.
All right, so that was it. Ernest Saves Christmas. It's on Freevee, so you do have to mute commercials while you watch it. That's the only way to watch commercials.
Well, watch the commercials if you want.
Only if I'm in them, which means you don't get to watch many of them. But Anyway, follow me at Tim Mathis Comedy.
At Theodore Comedy on everything, ladies and gentlefish.
And the next movie we're going to be reviewing is also a Christmas classic. Die Hard.
Die Hard. Specifically, hairstyles.
We are going to be finishing that 2-year-old video. The part 2 of the hairstyles, best hairstyles in Die Hard, which...
put that here.
It's so much good.
Put that right here.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. All right, guys. Have a good one. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Yes.
From us.